Yahabashiro Shabakatum. What's good, King?
What's good? What's good?
Ain't nothing. Just waiting on deck, you know what I'm saying, to read for the brother Maccabees. And
You're reading from Maccabees today?
yeah, Khan King.
Khan, all praises.
All praises. Yeah, but how you doing? You good?
Huh?
You good?
Yeah, all's good.
All right, Khan, all praises, man. All praises. Yeah, man.
I'm about to just play the podcast that Elder and them did.
Oh,
So
Khan.
people start coming in.
Oh yeah, that's definitely a good choice.
Hold on, Salaka, you cut off for a second. What was that again?
I'm gonna play
Now,
the podcast with Elder Tehran.
Oh, okay. Oh, Khan.
So people kind of like fill up their room.
Yeah, definitely. I'd like to check that out.
I was saying that's definitely a good choice, Doc. That could be, good opening.
Right, the introduction to the show.
Yeah.
Shalom.
Shalom, King.
Shalom.
So we ready? So here's Let the Truth Be Told podcast. We got controversy, guess, right? That's why we play Let the East be in the house, because the East is definitely in the house, right? This podcast will be a show for everybody. It says Let the Truth Be Told. So we're bringing all guests. We will be speaking on all different topics, definitely political and religious topics will be a focal point. But everything from the Knicks, everything will be told. Let's let the truth be told. We're talking about everything. So our first guest is the legendary Sabak that has been putting in work for 20 years from East New York. Peace, brothers. Shalom.
Shalom. Peace. Elder Priest Sabak. Shalom. Truth Be Told podcast. Here with my brother Terah. All praises to Yahweh Bashim and Mashiach Yahushua.
Definitely. Let's get right into it, brother. Controversy is an understatement. Putting in work for years. Street legend, right? Battling. Let's get right into it. Brother. How did you what attracted you to the Hebrew Israelite nation, right? Coming from the streets of East New York. What attracted you and how has that benefit your life, brother?
Well, first and foremost, the first question, what attracted me to the truth of the Hebrew Israelites, or the truth of our people being the Hebrew Israelites, is exactly within a statement, the truth.
Right.
You know, when I heard right out here, not too far from here down the street, our elders used to speak right out here on Wall Street, Fulton, and down here in Lower Manhattan in the financial district. When I heard the truth, when I heard them coming out of the Bible and I seen the strength and the power, it automatically led me to it. My spirit resonated with it. And what it has done for me, we used to have a song in what we call the Trooper program, right? Father.
Program. Let people know, what is the Trooper program, brother?
All right, the Trooper program was a program that when we came into the nation, there was a program set up for young men to strengthen themselves in the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of this truth.
Right.
Physically, mentally, and spiritually.
That's right. Right.
And
real quick, being a young black man coming out of the East New York, how was that important for you to be strengthened physically, spiritually?
Well, coming out of the streets of East New York, I'm glad we played the song in the beginning, because it was rough. You know, we had one of the highest murder rates per capita during 1990 and 91.
Right.
So waking up to the truth, it showed me that there was more for us young Black, Latino, and Native American brothers. There was a way out.
Right.
And that way out not only changed our lives, but eventually would give us salvation in the kingdom of heaven
Right.
to rule the earth in righteousness.
Right. Beautiful, beautiful. You feel like that's still needed with the younger brothers? What would you give a younger brother now coming out of East New York? Would you feel like this is the way?
Exactly. I
Right.
I would tell him this is the only way.
Right.
Because you can be whatever in this world, but there's only one truth.
Right.
And this is the only way to get out of the crime, the self-hatred, the degradation, the institutionalized racism and things against our people. So the truth would be the only way.
Right, brother. Right. I got you. How is it that important? We're going to get into some topics. We're going to get the questions asked. What the people want to know is it something that's benefiting your life as far, or is it, we could talk about hate movements and stuff like that. This is Let the Truth Be Told. Anybody can talk about that.
Right.
Anybody can talk about any topic. Any topic is open because it's said on the streets. How are you bringing Black youth and Latinos together, or are you separating them more? These are the questions that the people want to know. Why we just all can't get along, brother?
All right. First and foremost, do I feel like I'm bringing the young Black and Latino and Native American youth together? Yes, I believe so. I don't want to sound too proud or cocky or arrogant, but I believe in my 30 years of service to this truth, the Most High, whom the world ignorantly calls God, and his son, Hamashiach Yahushua, whom the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, have used me as a vessel to bring thousands of my brothers and sisters together. So we're definitely doing a service that's changing the lives of young Black, Latino, and Native American men, women, and children, bringing them together.
Right, and that's very important, brother. Is it very important that we know our nationality? Is that a significant purpose that we must know in order for us to get? Because we've been told we're everything, brother. We've been told that we're African Americans. We've been told that we're Nawabians, and that's another question. The Nawabians were strong during that time,
Right.
Why didn't you go that route, brother? Why did you go the route you went?
Well, first and foremost, there's only one truth.
Right.
There's only one truth, and you
There
have
you
to
go.
see that truth.
Right.
Believe it or not, growing up in the 80s in East New York, Brooklyn, I was exposed to the 5% Nation,
Okay.
the Nation of Islam,
Okay.
the Nation of Gods and Earths, which is
Right.
one of the same 5% Nation,
Right.
the Dr. York movement or the Nuwabians, the Christian Church, of course, just Black consciousness and awareness in general, but nothing hit me like the truth.
Right.
When I heard the elder brothers on the street, I knew this was it.
Right.
And it was come out of the Bible, the book I always grew up in love and respect.
Right.
So I have friends in the Nuwabian movement, but it just wasn't the way.
Right.
And to me, they seemed confused because they was dealing with, they had mixture of Islam, westernized, Western, they were trying to be like cowboys.
Right.
They were
Shalom,
mixing in
families.
science fiction, so it was too much confusion.
Okay.
When I met the brothers, they was teaching that one truth out of the Bible.
Okay,
Hey,
brother.
Shalom,
Now,
King.
that's the question. You bring
Just
up the
give it,
Bible,
time
brother.
for people to
They
come
say
in.
that the Bible has been
We're
written
probably going to kick
over
it
and
off in
over.
about
The Bible
or
has
3
been
minutes.
used to enslave people. Why the Bible, brother? Why do you feel so strongly about the Bible as the word?
Number one, I was raised on it by my parents, my grandparents.
Right.
The Bible was always in my family, and not to sound cliche or to just say this, I always had a respect and love for the Bible.
Okay.
Even as a young child when I didn't understand it. So once I started to understand it, I said, this is definitely the good book. Remember, our elders called it the good book.
Right.
And exactly was the good book. Nothing never on the planet ever resonated with me like the truth of the Bible. The truth of the Holy Scriptures.
Has it been used in a wicked way to oppress our people too?
Yes, those during the time of slavery and those that don't know proper understanding of the Bible, it could and has been used against them as a tool.
Right.
You got scriptures like servants obey your masters. That was used by the slave masters against the slaves because they didn't have proper understanding of that scripture and that verse.
So now, brother, let me ask you, being such a controversial figure, and this society that we live in now, a lot of people would make the statement that why we all just can't get along, brother. Like, why we all just can't be one happy family? Are we in a delusional state? It seems like particular people is being, and this is like I said, let the truth be told. It's gonna hurt some feelings, but this is the barbershop talk that's being talked on the streets. We're bringing it right here to the podcast. It's let the truth be told. Feelings is gonna be hurt. We understand that, but we hoping to get to the truth. We're talking about every topic. It will be every topic on this show. You can tune in. You want to hear about the Knicks? We'll deal with that.
Right.
But right now, we're talking to the brother who's been putting in work on the streets. So, brother, let me ask you a controversy. In this society, right, where now we're like one melting pot. Everybody's loving each other. And through rap music, they say through rap music.
Shalom, shalom, shalom. Hey, everybody. Just listening to Truth Be Told podcast. All praises. Elder Terah doing his thing, interviewing Elder Zabak. All praises. I hope everybody got a chance to take a look at that. It's on Mustard Seed. It's I think it's also on another channel. But definitely take a look at that. I was just playing that and giving a chance for people to get in the class. The teacher tonight is Maccabees, and he got some fire. So we're gonna step back and let the teacher do what he got to do. I think the reader is already on deck. Is the reader in place?
I see y'all.
Aishiyat Khan, all praise. So Maccabees, the floor is yours, King.
Khan, all praises, family. You know what I'm saying? All praises to the Most High by Shema Mashiach Yahweh Shah. You know, we see the way the world is going today, everything that's shaking up in the world with war, rumors of war. You see Trump almost got his head popped off, you know, which would have been led to a civil war. So we seeing what's going on, man. This heathen's kingdom is falling. And not just the white man's kingdom, but all of the rest of these nations' kingdom is also falling. You know, you got wars going on, civil wars that's going to be in different countries. You're going to have a lot of civil unrest. So it's a lot to say. What a time to be alive. This is the time to be alive. You know, the Most High didn't give us a spirit of fear. You know what I'm saying? But strong courage to make it through these times. You know, so this is what we got to look forward to, man. We got to get ourselves in order. We got to get our houses in order. Esau's kingdom is being shaken up, man. And with this civil war that's about to take place, Jake is not ready yet, man. Jake is not ready yet, you know, but the Most High is going to make us ready through pressure, through constant pressure that we, you know what I'm saying, that we're going to go through, you know. The Most High is going to make us into fine gold, you know. He's going to make us like the gold of Ophir, right? So let me start with Jeremiah chapter 25 and 13.
King. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 25 and verse 13. When everybody have it, say Khan. The book of Jeremiah, chapter 25 and verse 13. And I will bring upon that land all my words, which I have pronounced against it, even all that is written in this book, which Jeremiah had prophesied against all the nations.
Right. So hold that, King. So the Most High says, you know, he's going to bring upon the land, you know what I'm saying? He's going to bring upon the land the words that he pronounced, that, you know what I'm saying? And this is what has come to pass. The Most High's voice, whatever he says, doesn't come back void. You know, so everything that's going on, it has to come to pass. Everybody's keep wondering, oh, people that don't understand us in the world, that don't understand these scriptures. Oh, where's the Lord? How can this all be happening? They don't understand that this is the Lord's visitation. The Lord is visiting the earth right now, right? So with him visiting the earth, is going to be destruction. He tells you that. It tells you at Amos that the Lord's the day of the Lord is darkness and not light, right? So the Lord's visitation is going to be warfare on all fronts. All nations have to go down into the valley of Jehoshaphat. You see what I'm saying? And the Most High is showing his judgment all around the world, and mainly is going to hit America hard. So this is why people got to be prepared. Keep reading.
Reading on, verse 14. For many nations and great kings shall serve themselves of them also, and I will recompense them according to the deeds and according to the works of their own hands.
Right, because this is this is their salvation here. When we went into captivity, this became the heathen's salvation, right? So the Most High is judging them according to their works, right? Because they have do's and don'ts also that the Heavenly Father has. He has law, just like he has laws for us to follow. You know what I'm saying? He has laws for them to also follow. It's not the laws that we follow, right? But there's laws of the land. There's certain laws of the land that, you know, these other nations know that they should follow, right? And one of them, they know that they're supposed to give back to the children of Israel. They're supposed to treat the children of Israel right. So they entreated themselves of us. When they said they entreated themselves, that means they took pleasure in violating us. They didn't give us back anything, right? When we were in distress, they didn't say, hey, let's give God's people back what belongs to them, right? So they entreated themselves of us. So the Lord is paying them back. And how the Lord pays them back, he got them fighting amongst each other. Keep reading.
Verse 15. But thus saith the Most High God of Israel unto me, take the wine cup of this fury of my hand, and cause all the nations to whom I sent thee to drink it.
Right. And now that's what we're seeing today. You know what I'm saying? You see Russia, you see Ukraine going to war. You see they about to shut down the American currency with brick or whatever. That's gonna cause more havoc. You know what I'm saying? Because that's gonna shut down the American dollar. And all these other nations that are against America are joining with Russia, right? You see what's going on in the Holy Land. With Israel and Palestine, and now Iran is jumping into the mix. So it's just war on all fronts and rumors of wars, right? So the Most High is making these nations drink, right? He's making them drink of his fury, right? Because the Most High is furious right now of all the wickedness that's going on in the earth. The earth was given into the hands of the wicked, Job chapter 9, verse 24. So the Most High is destroying these nations. So he's going to make them drink. And go ahead, keep reading, King.
Okay. Verse 16. And they shall drink and be moved and be mad because all the swords that I will send among them.
Right. So this was going on in the time of Babylon, right? The old kingdom Babylon, right? But this is also twofold because it's talking about the new kingdom, right? Everything that was of then is of now. There's nothing that happened then that's not going on now. Right? So most times it's the same thing, just Esau is running the show, right? So the Most High said, then took out a cup at the Lord's hand and made the nations to drink, right? So that cup is the Lord's fury, right? Pouring it out. These nations are angry. They don't understand why. You see what I'm saying? They don't understand that they got the children, the Lord's children, and you know what I'm saying, captivity still, right? They like, oh, this black man, he's free. We gave him freedom. He you know, they gave us enough freedom to be silly in their kingdom, but they never gave us back our land. They never gave us back anything, right? If we're still under their laws, then we're still in the captivity. And this is what this is the problem that a lot of Jake have. A lot of Jake think that they free because they got some money. They might have got rich, few million. You know, you're still a puppet in your slave master's kingdom. Right? So the Most High is making these nations drink now. Right? Let me get Psalms chapter, is it chapter 3? Why do the heathens rage?
I think it's 3-1.
Yeah, let me get that. Why do the heathens rage?
Salakia, Psalms 2:1.
2-1. Salaki, throughout after the book of Psalms, chapter 2 and verse 1. When everybody have it, say Khan. Khan. Psalms chapter 2 and verse 1. Why do the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing?
Right. Why do the heathens rage and the people imagine a vain thing? Because every nation think that they're going to be the next to rise up and rule next. Right? Everybody think that they're going to rule next. Right? When the Most High already chose his people that he's going to have them rule after Esau. Right? So why do the heathens rage? Why do they imagine a vain thing that they're going to be next to rule? Right? That's a vain thing to even think that you got rulership after this kingdom is done. Esau is the end. And Esau is the end of all nations' kingdoms. Right? They had their chance to rule. Right? So they're drinking this cup and they raging. Why do they rage? The Most High got them drinking out of the cup of his fury. You know what I'm saying? But he tells you that he was sending upon them strong delusions. Right? Keep reading, King.
Khan. Verse 2. The kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together against the Lord and against his anointed, saying, let us break their bands asunder and cast away their cords from us.
Right. So that's what they want to do. They want to cast away the law. They want to cast away the ways of the Most High. Right? Now they talking about banning the Bible. That's another way of casting the cords away from them. Right? They want to ban this Bible because now the truth is coming out. They don't want the world to know. The devil wants you to believe that he never existed, that there ain't no devil, but we see them every day, right? They want to ban this Bible because the Israelites are waking up. They can't hide this truth no more, right? So they want to cast our cords asunder, right? They say that Bible, them people waking up is causing havoc. We have to shut that down. And this is what's about to happen, right? As these heathens see their kingdom falling, they're going to start to realize, just like the Pharaoh of Egypt realized when he let us go, like, oh, snap, like, we got to go get them back, right? Most High hardened his heart or whatever. That's the same thing that's happening here. That's the same thing that's going on now. Same thing that was going on then is the same thing that's going on now, right? Quick precept. Let me get that and let me get that in, what book is that? Let me get that in Ecclesiastes, chapter 3, verse 1.
Khan King. It's the book of
And then
Ecclesiastes.
hold on. We're gonna go back to that scripture that you was at. So don't lose where you was at, but just come out with this real quick.
Khan. It's the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3 and verse 1. When everybody have it, say Khan. The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3 and verse 1. To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven. A time to
Right.
be born,
Mm-hmm.
a time to be born, a time to die, a time
Right.
to plant.
So there's a time to be born and there's a time to die. Go down to verse 8.
Khan. Verse 8. A time to love and a time to hate, a time of war and a time of peace.
Right. So right now we in the time of war. There's a time for everything. Right? There's a time for war and there's a time for peace. There's a time to hate. Right? For everybody that says, oh, we shouldn't hate. No, there's a time for it. We shouldn't hate each other. Right? We shouldn't hate each other as a people, but there's a time for everything. But there's a time for war. The Most High says it's a time for war. Right? And we're living in that time. Right? So when we see these Palestinians getting blown up, we ain't supposed to be feeling sorry for them because the Most High says those are your enemies. Go back to Psalms chapter 2.
Khan, King. The book of Psalms, chapter 2, and verse number 3. Let us break their bands asunder and cast away their cords from us. He that sitteth in the heavens shall laugh. The Lord shall have them in derision.
So the Lord is gonna have these nations in derision. They want to cast the Bible away. They want to cast the Most High's people away. The Lord is gonna have them in derision, which He already has. We're watching this book play out in real time, right? We're watching this book play out in real time. So this is why the heathens rage, right? Because they have a feeling, they know that their time is at an end, right? Keep reading.
Reading on. Verse 4. Slakia. Verse 5. Then shall he speak unto them in his wrath, and vex them in his sore displeasure.
Mm-hmm.
Yet have I set my king upon my holy hill of Zion.
Right.
And I will
That king is Christ, right? He's waiting for his time, right? To put these nations underfoot, man. Right? To give them the iron rod, man. Keep going.
Khan, verse 7. I will declare the decree. The Lord hath said unto me, Thou art my son. This day have I begotten thee.
Keep going.
Ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thy inheritance, and the uttermost parts of the earth for thy possession.
Right. So the Most High, that's what I said. Why do the heathens, why do they rage? They all fighting for something that they're not going to get because we're going to rule over them. Most High says, I'm going to give you them for an inheritance, right? For the consequences of their actions and doing the things that they did to my people. Now, I mean, I'm going to give my people them for an inheritance. These same people that's warring, that's going to war, that got all of these missiles and guns and anything of weaponry, right? Anything of carnal weaponry. Most High says, I'm going to give my children them for an inheritance, right? So this is what we got to look forward to, right? All because of what they did to us. And Esau, he's going to have to pay, right? Let me get First Thessalonians chapter 5 and 3. Because
Okay.
they're gonna want that while you getting I'm a finish speaking. They're gonna try to look for peace, right? Because Esau don't want his kingdom to fall. So they're gonna be looking for that peace, right? And in that peace is going to be sudden destruction. Let's get that.
Khan, it's the book of First Thessalonians, chapter 5 and verse 3. When everybody have it, say Khan. The book of Thessalonians, chapter 5 and verse 3. For when they shall say peace and safety, then suddenly destruction cometh upon them, and travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape.
Right. They shall not escape. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what they think. They think that they're going to get peace. It's going to be safety. That everything is going to be okay. That their currency is going to be okay once they switch to the digital currency. Once they try to get their third temple, once they built their third temple, which is supposed to be coming, they're going to think it's peace and safety. And it's going to be sudden destruction. It's going to be sudden destruction. Just when they think everything is cool, everything is calm, the Most High is going to set on Esau a fire upon him, right? That's why he says, I come to set a fire on the earth, but what be it if it's not already kindled, right? Because the fire is going to get kindled here with Esau blowing each other up, right? With Esau shooting their missiles at each other, right? Russia right now is sending missiles to Cuba, right? So Cuba is going to have missiles, and that's right here next to the States. That's not too far from the States, right? For that day of the Lord, when the Lord sets in their heart to blow this place to smithereens, man. All right? So this is why we go out there and we teach our people so that way we can keep these laws, statutes, and commandments and gather ourselves, right? Because we don't want to be the 2/3 that's gonna die with these nations. So let me get Job chapter 18.
Job chapter 18, verse 1,
Verse 5.
verse 5. All right, Khan. The book of Job, chapter 18 and verse 5. When everybody have it, say Khan. This is Job chapter 18 and verse 5. Yea, the light of the wicked shall be put out, and the spark of his fire shall not shine.
Right. So the spark of the wicked is going to be put out. The Most High is going to destroy Esau and everything that he has, right? His weaponry, his technology, everything. Everything that Esau has is going to be put out, right? Right now, he got all of these immigrants that's coming over here right now, right? Which is more of our people, right? That's what the Most High says. I'm going to put Judah and Ephraim together and make them as one stick. And we see that's about to happen, right? Even though we have our little differences with the Northern Kingdom or whatever, and a lot of these brothers that's coming over here that are from Venezuela, those are just more our people. We got a few differences, because we haven't been amongst each other. But the minute the Most High put us together and have us like really, you know what I'm saying, on that one time, it's going to be a wrap for Esau. That's why he says his light is going to be put out. Keep reading.
Khan, reading on, verse 6. The light shall be dark in his tabernacle, and his candle shall be put out with him.
Right. So it should, when it says it shall be dark in his tabernacle, that's dealing with information, knowledge. He's gonna go back to being like a caveman again, right? Most High is gonna make him just like a caveman again, right? Everything that's when it says he's gonna be in darkness, all of the stuff that he has, his material value, all of that is gonna be done away with. Most High is gonna have this man looking crazy. Where we're gonna be looking at him like, is this the man that shook the earth? Like, can he really do that? Right? Keep reading.
On verse 7. The steps of his strength shall be straightened, and his own counsel shall be cast down, Slakia, and his own counsel shall cast him down.
Right. So his own counsel shall cast him down. And you see that that's what's happening. Because you got to think, it's not just America. Everybody think it's just America. It's the whole Western construct, right? America's like one little city. Like you see how New York is like a little city in America. America is like a city amongst the whole European Union, right? These Europeans, they all work together. You know what I'm saying? But right now there's a division amongst them. But for the most part, they work together. That's how they was able to rule. That's how they was able to rule the world. That's how they was able to go into Africa and take all the resources, right? It was divvied up between all of these European countries, right? So when we saying, you got to think of all of that falling. It's not just America. America's a small part of it. It's a big part, but it's a small big part. You know what I'm saying? Like, so when the Most High talks about destroying Esau, you know what I'm saying? He's talking about the whole Western construct. So keep reading.
Verse 8. For he is cast into a net by his own feet, and he walketh upon a snare.
Right. So he's cast into a net. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why he's cast into that net is because he done laid so many traps. He done forgot what the traps that he laid. Some of them that he laid, and a lot of those traps was just laid for himself. And the scriptures tell you that. The Most High tells you that he will make Esau make a trap for himself. He's gonna end up trapping his own self, right? Causing so much warfare in the earth. You know what I'm saying? Causing so many people death. You know what I mean? Just so much. You know what I'm saying? That anywhere he goes in the earth, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna be just like that time of Cain and Abel. You know what I mean? He's a vagabond in the earth, right? Everybody, anywhere he go, people gonna want to kill him, right? But this time, the most High is gonna let it happen, right? Whereas Cain, you know, the Most High says, whoever touches him, you know what I mean, shall be touched tenfold. So, but this time, the Most High is going to let it happen to Esau. You know what I mean? Because that's.
King.
Go ahead, King.
Precept. Proverbs 26 and 27.
Go ahead, bring it up.
It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 26 and verse 27. And anybody have it? Say Khan. Proverbs 26 and 27. Whoso getteth a pit shall fall therein, and he that rolleth a stone, it will return upon him.
Read that again.
Proverbs chapter 22 and verse 27. Whoso diggeth a pit shall fall therein, and he that rolleth a stone, it will return upon him.
Just like what you're saying, just to back up exactly what you said, he already laid a whole lot of traps, right? He already laid a whole lot of pitfalls, and the Most High is going to make him, with all of the traps that he laid for us, he's going to fall into those pits that and those stones that he rolled is going to roll back over him. So just wanted to back up what you said, King.
Con. Definitely. So so basically, like what the brother said, that's exactly what's happening right now. This man can't go anywhere. Everybody's turning on him, even his own kind. Right? That's why it says his own council shall cast him down. Right? The United Nations, the European Union. This is what's going to happen. They're going to cast them down. Let's get that real quick in Revelations chapter, I believe it's 17. And we're going to go back to Job 18. Right?
Gone.
Where let me get verse 17, chapter 17, verse 16.
Gone. It's the book of Revelation, chapter 17 and verse 16. When everybody have it, say Khan. It's the book of Revelation, chapter 17 and verse 16. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire.
Right. That's talking about Russia and them. That's talking about the European Union. That's the European Union right there. That's gonna happen, right? Because what's gonna happen is what's that's gonna end up turning on America? Um what is it? NATO? NATO's going to end up turning on America. That's what's going to happen. Because America's not giving NATO right now the weapons that they want to fight Russia. They're asking America for certain weapons so that way they can fight Russia, you know what I'm saying, and win. And America's not giving it to them. Why? Because they used last weapon that they gave them, they used it and it ended up in Russia, blowing up some stuff in Russia. So now the Russians is like, listen, we don't trust you Americans. We are enemies forever now. You see what I'm saying? So this is what's going on. So now America is like trying to fall back a little bit. And NATO's like, nah, we need more of them weapons. You see what I'm saying? And they're not getting it. So what's going to end up happening is a lot of people going to end up turning on America. A lot of countries already have. And now you're already seeing that the European Union and everything and their allies is all going to turn on America, right? So that's why it says that she'll eat her flesh. You know what I'm saying? It's talking about this the fire. I mean, it's going to burn her with fire. Keep reading.
Verse 17. Salakia. That was Revelation 18 and 16, right?
17 to 16.
Salakia. 17 and 16. The water.
Verse 17 now.
Khan. For God had put in their hearts to fulfill his will and to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast, unto the words of God shall be fulfilled.
Right. So the Most High put it in their hearts already. This is why there's a lot of anger that's there. You know what I'm saying? They have the Most High said that he making them drink of that cup, that fury, and they're angry right now. And look, on all sides, right? So America's the fuel, man. America's been fueling this stuff for the longest, and it's gonna feel the wrath for that, right? So let's go back to Job chapter 18.
Khan.
And I want you to start at, I think, back at verse 7 real quick.
All right. It's the book of Job, chapter 18 and verse 7. The steps of his strength shall be straightened, and his own counsel shall cast him down.
And his own counsel shall cast him down. That's what we just read in Revelation, right? His own counsel shall cast him down, right? But before all of those things happen, it's going to be civil war. There's going to be war on his own front. That's why he says, right? Like, no matter where he goes, it's like he's going to be in terror. There's going to be war on all fronts, and we're going to go into that after that. Keep reading, King.
Reading on. For he is cast into a net by his own feet, and he walketh upon a snare. The jinn shall take him by the heel, and the robber shall prevail against him.
Right. So the robber's going to prevail against him because he stole. So the things that he stole is going to be taken right back from him. Right. It's like everything they stole is going to be taken back. Right. Because there ain't no honor amongst thieves. Keep reading.
The snare is laid for him in the ground, and a trap for him in the way.
Mm-hmm.
Terrors shall make him afraid of every side, and shall drive him to his feet.
Right. So terror shall make him afraid on every side. Right? Every side. That's why I said civil war is coming as well. Before the missiles come, we're going to go through the civil war. Right? So not only on the outskirts, right, are we at war, right, with the Eastern nations, but on the inskirts of our own country, right? And the surrounding countries that surrounding us, right? Like in South America, right? Because that's where a lot of our enemies are going to be coming from, right? Well, America's enemies. I should say, not my enemies, but America's enemies. This is where a lot of their enemies are going to be coming from. A lot of them is going to be coming from, uh, places like Mexico, coming through the border, right? A lot of them is already here. This is why they have alligators at the Texas border and everything. All of these alligators out there so they could stop all of this from happening, all of these people from coming over. It's not just the Northern Kingdom. You got a lot of Moab coming through there, right? And whoever else. You know what I'm saying? Maybe some Iranians or whoever coming through through the border, destroying America slowly but surely, right? There's gonna be things happening on the inside. So it's gonna be warfare on the inside. Then there's gonna be the lack of food. So people are gonna be fighting in the streets. You're gonna have civil unrest. America's not gonna be America no more. It's gonna be the states. Every state gonna be for themselves. This is why the scriptures say a man shall desire to go into a city and cannot. You're going to want to go into another city. You're going to want to go to Chicago and can't go to Chicago. And this is why it's going to be a lack of brothers in each city. The Most High, you know what I'm saying? You might not see brothers for days. You might not see sisters. You might not see nobody, right? When all of this stuff is going on. Right? Everybody's going to be trying to survive somewhere, so there's a chance that you might not even be around your loved ones or your brothers. Who knows where you're going to be? Because when it hits the fan, you could be at work. If they blow the bridges up, right? And you work in the city, let's just say Manhattan, right? As an example. You live in the city, when they blow the bridges up or something like that, how you going to get back home to your family? So it's going to be war on all fronts, right? And Esau's kingdom, Esau is going to feel the wrath of it. You know what I'm saying? He's going to feel the Most High's wrath for real because all of these different races of people are here in America as well. So Esau's going to have to war. That's why he says, terror shall make him afraid on all sides, even in his own country. Right? So
Hey,
keep reading.
Shalaki King,
Yeah, go ahead.
And like even with COVID, right? When COVID was going on, they were locking people down who were able to travel and not travel, just like to go to work, right? People had to have different type of documents from their job showing that they were allowed to go to work, and that wasn't war or nothing, right? So imagine when it's war and they're locking you down and you gotta like travel with a passport and documents from your job showing that yeah, you're able to go to work, and you might work in the city like you say, but you live in Queens. You gotta cross a bridge. You gotta do a whole lot of stuff just to maintain. And then even like you see a lot of these movies how they put it out where you really lock down when the armies actually come in to the cities. It's not police now, it's military police, right? And they beat up citizens, they rape, they do whatever they want because that's why they don't have the military policing the when they do military, policing, they do that overseas because they know how brutal their military is. So now you're gonna have military people within your cities policing you. You gotta have passports on you. You want to go to the grocery store. It's a whole lot of things. The scripture talks about how expensive food is gonna be in those days, man. You know, everything is just going to be on another level, and we definitely, this lesson is kind of a good wake up call for that information, man. I you
Right. So it's gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad. Matter of fact, let me get that in finish this off, but we're gonna go into that. Where was you at, King?
Job chapter 18,
Hey,
verse 12.
hey, Salakia.
Time. Yeah, King.
Hey, good point with Shemaiah. Also, these military soldiers and race soldiers and everything, all of that, they're gonna be dying for somebody to get out of pocket. They gonna be wishing for somebody to get out of pocket just so they can make an example. They gonna be
We
wishing for one of y'all to pull up, talk about y'all ain't got your ID and you still gonna get through here and there. Well,
time.
man.
That this is why the scriptures said to flee, man. That we're gonna have to flee into the wilderness, right? And this day that's coming, we're gonna have to flee into the wilderness. We're not gonna be. We ain't going. I mean, hopefully the Most High give us a stand somewhere where we could, we could stand our ground a little bit or something. But it's already said. The Most High says we gonna have to flee into the wilderness, man. Because these soldiers, they gonna send these soldiers after us. When it says it's gonna send the flood is talking about the soldiers, man. There's gonna be soldiers coming hunting us down. We're gonna be getting hunted down. So just like, you know what I mean? Because Esau's kingdom is over. So he's gonna send out the whatever wrath he can send out against us, he's gonna send out against us. Because his time is up. And these nations know that they want to destroy the nation of Israel before their time is up. That's the only way they could survive. They only could live is if we're at the bottom. You see what I'm saying? And that time is up. You know what I'm saying? So keep reading, King.
King. Job chapter 18 and verse 12. Reading on. His strength shall be hunger bitten, and destruction shall be ready at his side.
Right. So it says his strength shall be hunger bitten, destruction shall be ready at his side, man. He's about to be destroyed, man. And like I said, he's like a dog with rabies right now. He's gonna be like a dog with rabies. That's what this white man is gonna be like. You want to see his teeth? You want to see his teeth? Yeah, everybody think he's all nice and ha ha. He looks all sensitive and everything. This white man gonna show his teeth, right? He's gonna be like a dog with rabies, right? Keep reading.
Verse 13. And it shall devour the strength of his skin. Even the firstborn of death shall devour his strength.
Right. So he's gonna be destroyed in this, right? And a lot of it was gonna bring America down is gonna be from the inside, right? Like I said, the race wars. Let's go to let me get Second Ezra chapter 15. Oh, before you go to Ezra, let me get Matthew 24.
Which one was that? Matthew what?
Matthew 24, where
Which verse?
let me get verse 6.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 24, and verse 6. When everybody have it, say con. Matthew chapter 24, verse 6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that he be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet.
Right. So we seeing the wars and the rumors of wars right now. But the end is not yet. There's still a lot of things to come. This is why I said you got the race wars coming and stuff like that. These things have to come. Right? Keep reading.
For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famine and pestilence and earthquakes in divers places.
Right. We seeing that. Keep going.
All these are the beginning of sorrow. Then shall deliver you up to the afflicted, and shall kill you, and he shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake.
Right. So the most is basically saying, Matthew's saying, look, man, this is the beginning of all sorrows. Like what we seeing right now is the beginning of all sorrows. Right. This is why, like me, I would hate to see my loved ones go and stuff like that. But I don't. Part of me don't want them to be around to see what's about to take place because it's going to be so bad. Right. It's going to be so bad. You're going to be wishing you was probably dead. Right. Especially if you ain't keeping no law, statutes, and commandments, and you just going off, right? You're gonna be wishing you was there because Most High is not going to deliver you in that day, right? But if we keeping law, statutes, and commandments, you know what I'm saying? We should be all right. Most High is gonna make us. He's gonna make us shine, right? So it's gonna be a lot of sorrows in that time. And this is the beginning of sorrows. This is just the beginning. And we haven't even seen the beginning of sorrows yet. Right? We're going into that, but we haven't really seen it because that's the time of Jacob's trouble. Right? And that's why it says this. Read verse 9.
10.
Verse 9.
10.
Read that again.
Fine. Verse 9. Then shall they deliver you upon to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake.
Right. So to the ones that's out here, the brothers out here teaching this word in truth and sincerity, you know, brothers is gonna be brought up and be afflicted and killed. They're gonna kill up. They're gonna kill brothers. They ain't saying everybody, but a lot of brothers gonna be getting brought up and getting killed for this word. You know what I'm saying? These things is gonna happen. This is the beginning of sorrows. Right? When you start seeing brothers you serve with getting put to death. I mean, you walking down the street, they got your brother hung up on a pole somewhere, stabbing them up. Like these things are gonna happen. Like we really gotta think about that. Think about it. You walking down the street, all of this, nothing but havoc is going on in the street, and you see them hanging brothers that you do the work with, that you was doing the work with. You know how many brothers is gonna be tucking their fringes? You know how many sisters is gonna be tucking they're gonna be tucking it in.
No more head wraps.
God, the head wrap, everything.
Head
It's
wraps
gonna be crazy in that day. It's gonna be crazy in that day, and then some brothers is gonna be like how what's the name was like how Peter was when they said, oh you was with him. Well, nah, I wasn't with him. I mean, that's how some brothers is gonna be. I don't know that brother.
I hate
You know
them camps.
right. Oh man,
That was a good one.
yo, but that's how it is. Yo, I'm telling you, it's gonna be just like that. I ain't mess with them brothers from HOI anyway. I ain't like them brothers. They not in the Oh man. Oh man, it's gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad though. You know. So like I said, this is the beginning of sorrow. We gotta really think about that, you know. Because it could happen. You know what I'm saying? You just trying to get where you gotta go. You know what I'm saying? Things is happening, people getting killed, women are getting raped in the streets. You know what I'm saying? Imagine a woman getting raped and you trying to think if you should help her or not because you got a family of your own you got to defend. We don't think of a lot of things we don't think about. Like, this is all part of the things that's going to be playing out in these last days. You'll see a girl getting raped and you won't even help her because, number one, she might have been wicked. And she could have been one of the women that was whoring herself around in the streets before the Most High sent madness upon her, right? So you can get involved with that and then end up getting judged. Like, you ever seen the book of Eli when he went to go help the girl and he was like wondering if he should help her or not? He's like, yo, should I help her or should I just like keep it pushing? It's gonna be like that. It's gonna be a hard decision. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have people out there crying for help, and then you go help them, and then you end up fooled. You know what I'm saying? Because they done set the girl up to trap you to make you think that she needed help. Now you looking like a meal because ain't no food. There ain't no food around. So everybody going to be doing cannibalism. There's going to be a lot of cannibalism. Got to think about that. So all of these things is going to be playing out. That's why I said it's the beginning of sorrows. That's just the beginning. I mean, think about Venezuela. They was eating out of garbage cans, kicking their money around on the floor because it wasn't worth nothing, right? But and then imagine missiles and bombs and all of that stuff going on around you from the war that's being had between the nations. When they start shooting their missiles back and forth, so you got that going on with all the stuff that's going on in the streets. You got to get through. Right? Trying to find food, right? Hoping that you could find food somewhere that you ain't gotta go to what's that camp? One of them camps, right? So
Concentration camp.
yeah, concentration camp, right? They're gonna have the concentration camps. They're gonna tell you, oh, you gotta go get your food from the concentration camp, right? Just to get you in there. Once you get in there, ain't letting you go. And you don't know what they're gonna be feeding you. So the food that you're gonna be getting, it's not gonna be no good because they're gonna be trying to kill a lot of people off in them concentration camps. Then, I mean, this is all the judgments of war, the things that's gonna be going on. Like, we have to really sit and really analyze and break this thing down and meditate on this. Like, you gotta really meditate on that. Right? So when it says wars and rumors of wars, sometimes we just hear it, but we don't really like take it in, like what's gonna happen, right? And then if you got children, right, what happens to your children, right? You got a child you gotta feed, right? It's gonna be hard on you because you know what I'm saying? People gonna be looking out there to go kill their neighbor or whoever's close to them to feed a child. You know, it can happen. Right? Keep reading, King.
Gone. Verse 10. And then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another.
See? Right. See? many shall be offended. And they going, brothers and sisters gonna be betraying one another. I mean, on all fronts, not just amongst our people, but on every race of people that's here in America. It's gonna be turned, everybody gonna be turning on each other. You know what I'm saying? So you're gonna have inside fightings amongst each other, amongst different races of people. You know what I mean? Then you're gonna have different races of people fighting amongst each other. You know what I'm saying? So it's like inside fighting, then fighting amongst each other nations. Moab is gonna be fighting against us. You know what I'm saying? Because we're gonna be trying to kick him out of his Chinese restaurant, right? You know, we done ran up in Moab's Chinese restaurants and found out he was feeding us rats. We gonna want to kill him. You know what I'm saying? And then some of us probably go eat the rats after we kill Moab and found out he was feeding us rats because there ain't nothing left but the rats to eat. These things is gonna happen to a lot of our people, right? Your neighbor down the hall, you got a kid. Your neighbor down the hall, you know he got some canned foods in his cabinet. You've been to his crib before, so you know he got some canned foods in his cabinet. And you're gonna feel like, damn, I need something to eat, man. I'm hungry. My child is hungry. You know what I'm saying? Your neighbor, you knew him for 10, 20 years. You're gonna be ready to kill that neighbor for a meal, for a can of food, right? For some water, especially on the inner cities. We live in inner cities. A lot of us don't live in like in the urban areas. Some of us don't live in urban areas. So people that live in the city is gonna have to make do with what we have. Right? It's gonna be hard to call a brother your brother when you starving and your stomach and your kids are starving. Not even just you starving, but your kids are starving. Right? Keep reading, King.
Verse 11. And many false prophets shall rise and shall deceive many.
Right. That's already happening. Right now, you got this Yaju dude talking about he's the next coming of Christ, smoking his weed and stuff. Crazy as hell. Crazy ass Jake. Right? We have that. You know what I'm saying? We got all these Christian folks pushing their Christian pamphlets, Jehovah Witness pamphlets, right? Talking about God's name is Jehovah, right? So the Antichrist is here, right? So a lot of these things are here already, right? But a lot of it hasn't really took in full effect. They're here, but they're not in full effect yet. They will be, right? It's a slow, like the Most High says, things are slow. It's not going to happen just overnight. You know, it takes time. You know, you might have it might look like it got quiet for a while. Things is back to normal or going back to normal. Like I said, when they say peace and safety, it should be automatic destruction, right? Keep reading.
Verse 12. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold.
Right. So, because iniquity is bound, love of many shall wax cold. Right? Many, not some, not a few, not a little, but many. Many shall wax cold. And that's even amongst the brotherhood, right? It's bad enough the camps don't even get along, a lot of the camps, right? And brothers is falling out in their own camps. You know what I mean? You got camp beefs going on, right? So the love of many is gonna wax cold, man. You know, families are already cold. You could already see what it's gonna be then. If now if your family members is cold hearted now, imagine what they're gonna be like in that day. Remember when COVID happened, all your friends that was your friends, you go say what's up to them or go check them. They don't want you around. Don't come to my house. You got COVID. You coughing too. Everybody trying to get away from you. If you coughing too crazy. You know? So imagine what this day is going to be like. And that was just COVID. That was just a little COVID. Something that they made up. Imagine what this day going to be like when you ain't got no food. And then all of the pestilence and all of the outbreaks and all of this, the Fauci stuff, you know what I'm saying? That they got coming. All of these new variants and stuff that they got coming along with it. Along with all of that. Right? Start making you think about that Psalms 91 again. You might want to go back into that tonight. You know, that Psalms 91, right? Fearful signs of pestilence and dark and all the dark places. You know what I'm saying? Things that you would never even think that they got. You know? And what I'm finding out is a lot of these things are in these hospitals. A lot of these new variants and stuff like that, they tested out in these hospitals. Right? They got labs behind, I forgot what hospital it is. There's a hospital here in Manhattan, in Lower Manhattan, and they got a unit behind the hospital where they actually experiment on lab rats, on different things like different chemicals, stuff like that, things like that can cause major outbreaks, you know what I'm saying, and cause a lot of damage. They make that inside some of these hospitals, behind some of these hospitals. You be thinking these hospitals be so big, and you be like, yo, it's so big, but why is only majority of the hospital just for, like, half of the hospital is only for patients and the other half is like something else going on? That's because that's what they doing. They got experiments going on and they got labs behind these hospitals. So you're going to have a lot of outbreaks. You're going to have a lot of things that they're going to be testing on the public, right? It's going to be just like, what was that movie where they had the apocalypse zombies and all that? What was the name of the movie? What's the name of that movie?
Z Nation?
Nah, it wasn't Z Nation. Resident Evil.
Oh, Resident Con.
Resident Evil. Yeah, Resident Evil, man. Where they was testing out stuff on the, you know what I'm saying, on the population and everything. There was another movie too. What was the other movie where they had a wall? They had to build the wall. They had all the Amalekites behind the wall, and then the zombies was trying to climb up on the wall, and the guy had to go in and find a cure. It was World War Z, right? Yeah, World War Z, right? So you had that, you know what I'm saying? So all of these things is gonna be happening in these last days. Trust and believe that. This is why they show you this stuff in the movies. They give you movies, they give you shows to show you that, yeah, that's why it's going to be fair. People are going to be in fear, right? These nations, and when they see when they see the destruction that comes before them, they're going to be begging us to be a slave. This is why the Most High says the nation shall cleave to the house of Israel. What would make somebody want to cleave to you? They don't even like us. But now the Most High says they're going to cleave to you, right? Because all of the stuff that's going to be happening to them, right? Keep reading, King.
Con, verse 13. But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved.
Right, but he that endured to the end, the same shall be saved. So if we make it past the Civil War and the missiles, you know what I'm saying, and still keep our righteous continents, then the saints shall be saved. Right? But the wicked is going to be destroyed. Let me get Job chapter 12, verse 23.
This is the book of Job, chapter 12 and verse 23. When everybody have it, say con. This is the book of Job, chapter 12 and verse 23. He increaseth the nations and destroyeth them. He enlargeth the nations and straighteneth them again.
Right. So he enlarges the nations and he destroys them. Right? Most High destroys these nations, right? Because of their wickedness. And then he enlarges them again. You know what I'm saying? But when he enlarges them again, it's going to be to serve. It's going to be in servitude. Right? So let me get let's go into Second Ezra chapter 15.
What verse, King?
Where it says Egypt shall mourn. Verse 12.
Con, I got it. Second Ezra chapter 15 and verse 12. Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that God shall bring upon it.
Right. So when it says Egypt, it's not talking about the land Egypt, it's talking about spiritual Egypt. It's just talking about your captivity. So anytime the Bible says Egypt, a lot of times it's talking about captivity. That's all Egypt means. It just means the land of your captivity. So when it says Egypt shall mourn, you know what I mean, is wherever we was captive at, right? So here in America is definitely an Egypt, right? So when it says Egypt shall mourn, definitely talking about America. America is definitely one of those places. But like I said, you still have the whole European Union. It's not just talking about only America. Wherever we were sold, that is Egypt, right? So if it's in England, that's Egypt. Don't think that America's the only place that is going to be brought down and that's the only thing that's happening. That's so small-minded, right? We got to think big. It's not just America. America is one of the major places, but it's not just America. Because remember, these Europeans don't come from they don't come from here. They come from Europe. So it's talking about the whole European Union. Wherever we are, people that's in UK is going to be going through it. People that's in France is going to be going through it. You know what I mean? All around wherever these Europeans are, right? And wherever we are, wherever we were sold at, right? So read that again, King.
Second Ezra chapter 15 and verse 12. Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that God shall bring upon it.
Right. So the Most High is going to bring plagues upon Egypt, all of these European countries, right? Plague is being brought upon it. Look at what's going on in France right now. This is how you know it's not just America. Look at what's going on in France right now, man. France is falling apart. France is falling apart, man. Japan is falling apart. Like different places around the world is really falling apart. America is really like one of the countries that's gonna be the Most High is gonna finish, you know what I'm saying? Like last, like not really last, but last almost. Right? But if you see what's going on in France and all these countries, that it's a lot of civil unrest there already. So keep reading.
Verse 13. They that till the ground shall mourn, for their seeds shall fail through the blasting and hail, and with a fearful constellation.
Right. This is not going. A lot of this is not going on in America. This is going on in different countries, like the Middle East. You got hail and snow falling in the land where it's supposed to be hot, right? Fearful constellations. Look what's going on with all of these people in their pilgrimage to Mecca and all of that, and the roaches and everything crawling all by the cobblestone and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, look what's going on, right? Then I believe something just happened over there in Mecca as well, right? Something else just happened, right? So it's a lot of stuff that's taking place, right? Because remember, before we came to the transatlantic slave trade, we was in the sub-Saharan slave trade. So Palestine, all of them countries had a lot to do with bringing us into captivity. The Most High is remembering them now. He's visiting them now, right? And one of the signs is seeing snow and stuff like that in the Middle East, right? That's one of the signs. Keep going.
Hey,
Con.
Shalaki King.
Yeah, what you about to say,
It
King?
was like about 1,300 of those people who made their pilgrimage to Mecca, the Haji pilgrims, pilgrimage, sorry, they died over there, man.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. And it was an African guy that one. I think Kasaja brought that out. I think his last lesson about the man and his wife that went over there, old couple, and he ended up dying.
Yeah,
So we seeing it. We seeing it, man. Worshiping idols, right? Going off worshiping these idols and stuff like that. And
Hey,
then
Shalaki King, I got a video I could share
Con,
for you.
King.
Let me bring that out for you, King.
Con.
There we go. The Most High is not playing with these nations, boy.
Mm-hmm.
Growing death toll in Saudi Arabia. More than 1,300 Muslim pilgrims died in the extreme heat, including 2 Americans. Temperatures climbed above 124 degrees during the Hajj around Mecca. Almost 2 million people made that pilgrimage. That includes days of hiking and praying. A couple from Maryland lost their lives to what authorities called natural causes. Their daughter suspects it was heat stroke.
They saved their entire lives to embark on this journey, and they didn't receive the proper preparation, the proper documents. It was just a nightmare overall experience of a trip.
The Saudi government claims unregistered tours for most of the deaths and promises to prosecute those companies.
Now to
You see? So people making that pilgrimage and all of that, Most High is judging them, man. Most High is judging all of these religions, all of these religious practices that people into. Most High is judging that, man. If it's not of the Lord, it cannot stand. Right? The Most High is purging the earth right now. The earth is being purged. All the wickedness that's on it. Right? So this is what we're seeing. Destruction on all sides. So go ahead, King, finish reading. Thanks for that clip.
Verse 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and the sword in their hands.
Right. So one people going to stand up to fight against another, and this is on all sides, right? Even in the streets, even amongst in our own neighborhoods. You know what I mean? Our own apartment buildings, right? House to house, apartment to apartment, block to block, neighborhood to neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? City to city. nation to nation, all sides. Right? Keep going. You there with me, King?
Oh, Salakia, King, I had the mute off when you was talking. I got you. Verse 16. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes.
Right.
And
So they shouldn't regard their kings nor princes. Right. Your king nowadays would be, your politician, your mayor, your governor, your president. Your princes would be nowadays your police officers, your people that's in power that controls the city. You know what I'm saying? Keeping things in order, right? Keep reading.
the course of their actions shall stand in their power.
Right. So the course of a person's actions is gonna stand in their own power. You're not gonna have the police to come around to save you. Nobody's gonna save you in that day. You gotta save yourself. Know what I mean? Somebody come on your property and try to break in, you're gonna have to handle that business yourself. Hopefully you know how to fight, you know how to, defend yourself, or you got some weapon of defense, to protect your family. If somebody comes and try to harm you, you know, you're gonna need it. Not saying go out there and just harm somebody, but somebody's trying to harm you or hurt you, then you have the right to defend yourself, right? By any means necessary. So if you got to kill that person to take them out, you got to take them out. You got to protect your kids. You got to protect your kids. Certain situations, it might be squeeze first, ask questions last. Especially when you got your family or you got your kids. People ain't hearing that. You come close to my kid, I might have to take you out of here. And it's not that I had any problem with you, but I don't know what your intentions are. And this is how bad it's gonna get. I don't know what your intentions are, so I might have to take you out of here just off of not knowing what your intentions are. You're moving a little bit too funny for me. I don't know. You raised your voice a little bit too extra. You know what I'm It got I'm telling you, in this time when it's really hit the fan, it's gonna be just like that. Somebody might feel, what's that by you, intimidated by you, might be a little bit too big for the dude. And it's not that he got a problem with you, but he feel like, damn, I just got into an argument with this guy and I'm hungry and we kill each other and I might have to take him out. You know what I'm saying? It's just like that, man. You know what I mean? Just off of some words that was said. You know what I mean? And imagine it's coming from the people that you love, people that you grew up with, people that you know what I mean, that was your neighbors all their life. You know what I'm saying? And that neighbor now wants to take your life because they gotta feed their kid. He ain't your neighbor no more. This is the things that's gonna happen. Keep reading, King.
Verse 17. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able.
Right. So a man is gonna want to go into a city and not be able. This is what I'm saying. You don't want to go to the Bronx. And somebody gonna tell you can't go to the Bronx because them people gonna kill you over there because they ain't got no food over there. And the little rations of food that they got, they ain't trying to let nobody from outside their city come in their city. You know what I mean? It's already crazy out there. So now you're gonna come to another person's city that ain't got no food like that. They're rationing whatever they have, and they fighting amongst each other for little positions of power. You know what I'm saying? And now you come into that city, it's a problem. Hold on, give me 1 second, guys. Give me 1 second. I got a call coming in from my job.
Con. Yeah, it's a heavy lesson the brother bringing up, man. You know, there's a lot of stuff you don't think about and we kind of take for granted about how terrible
All right, guys, give me a
Jacob's
second. Give me
trouble is
1
going to be.
second. I'll be right back.
Con, King,
I'm
we got you.
Salaki. I'm at work right now. Just something happened. So
No
give
problem.
me
King,
give
we
me
got
1
you.
second. Whoever
Con,
want to
King.
take over the lesson can. For a second. Just give me a second.
Con, we got you, King. Yeah, there's some heavy things you know, the scripture talks about, man, in this Jacob's trouble, man. You know, that scripture that says there is nothing new under the sun ain't got nothing on Jacob's trouble.
Con.
Right? Scripture tells you there's nothing new under the sun, which is true, but it ain't got nothing on Jacob's trouble. Because of Jacob's trouble, the scripture tells you there's never been a time like this. There's nothing to reference to say, well, yeah, it's kind of like, you know, back in the days with Noah and all of the violence. Now, Jacob's trouble is worse than that. It ain't got nothing that happened that was like Jacob's trouble. So what is going to be going down? You know, this is our last captivity. You know, Esau's mindset is, if I can't have you, nobody will. That's Esau's mindset, right? I'm going to destroy everything and everyone, right? There was a kind of video going on when it was actually, they kind of took that movie that Maccabees referenced, which was Resident Evil, and they took a scene from that movie showing that, hey, Esau was showing that, you know, destroying the world happened before and we can do it again. And his mindset was, yeah, let's destroy the world under our terms. And that's his mindset. He knows he has no salvation, right? They know the Most High is not on their side. So when it comes to us, they are willing to do above and beyond whatever it takes to be like, if I can't have you, nobody will type of mindset. You know, the scripture talks about, you know, the devil knowing he has a short time and he's going to ramp up all of his wickedness to come against the children of Israel, man. The brother's back. Go ahead, King.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I'm back. Yeah, I had to go take care of something. So, where was we at? Ezra, right?
Con.
What verse was we at?
That was Slakia. Oh yes, 17. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able to.
Yeah. So go ahead. So a man shall desire to go into the city and not be able to. So yeah, you're gonna want to go into another city or into another town, and you're not gonna be able to because it's gonna be a lack of food. There's gonna be a lot of things. It's gonna be, you know, what I mean, total chaos, and then everybody's gonna be trying to fight for position of power of that city, whatever city that is. Whoever's like have some type of influence, some real influence, is gonna be fighting for the power of that city. So you're gonna want to go into a certain city and cannot because you live in another city that's beefing with that city. So remember, it's gonna be city against city. You know what I mean? Town against town, city against city, and all of that. So one city of people gonna say, nah, you from that city. And we ain't able to go over there, so you can't come over here. You know what I'm saying? You come over here, we gonna kill you. No, what city you from? It's gonna be just like that, like how Bloods and Crips be banging. What city you from? Are you from over there? Oh, it's on. It's gonna be just like that. It's gonna be a lot of warfare and bloodshed in the streets. So, okay, keep going, King.
Verse 18. For because of their pride, the cities shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid.
Right. So men shall be afraid. Big, strong, grown men gonna be scared in that day. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna be afraid. Because like I said, it's gonna be so much going on. Go ahead, read, keep going.
Con, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation.
See? A man shall have no pity. Read that one more time slowly for them, King.
Con, King, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and
Right.
spoil.
So a man ain't gonna have no pity on his neighbor. A lot of people gonna be. If you got a wife, people will try to rape your wife. It's gonna happen. Some people gonna, you know what I mean? Their wives might get raped. No, somebody come in your house, they want to take your food, they want your woman, they want your children. You know what I'm saying? Some brothers that got daughters, you got to think about that too. Your daughter might get raped. Imagine a man coming in your house and raping your kid in front of you. And there's nothing you could do about it because they got guns and all of this stuff, got you tied up. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing you could do. Raping your wife, there's nothing you could do. Right? And the Lord is going to let it happen to a lot of people because of the evilness that they were doing on the earth. They was evil or whatever. So the Lord is going to remember that. You're going to remember people that didn't want to keep his law, statutes, and commandments and wanted to follow after the ways of the heathen. He's going to allow these things to happen to them. He's just going to turn his back. Right? These things happened to us think about it. It happened to us during slavery. So you know it's going to happen again. That white man was raping our women. They were raping our wives. Sometimes a man would get married and the slave master will want to sleep with her just because you married her. So imagine what's going to go on in these times. It's going to be like the days of Noah. It's going to be crazy. Your daughter, your son getting raped by other men. Disrespectfully, even you could get raped too. A man could get raped too. It can happen. You got all of this homosexuality going on out here. They might not even want your wife. They might just want you. You know what I'm saying? So it can happen. It's a lot of things that can happen. You know, we just gotta be we gotta be on point in that day. That's why the Most High told us to gather yourself, O nation, not desire. Gather yourself for reasons like that, because there will become a time where somebody might try to come in your house. But if we're a nation of people and we gather ourselves, can't nobody just come into our homes like that. You know what I'm saying? Because we're defending each other. You know what I'm saying? But in this time, there's no food, there's no trust, there's no loyalty, there's no anything. These things are bound to happen. That's why I meditate on these words that's being said, because it's serious. It is serious. And we don't really think about it like that. We just read it. Sometimes we think like, damn, but we don't really think of the scenarios that could really play out. And if this happened to us during slavery, imagine what's going to happen in these times. Most High says the worst time ever. Keep going, King.
Reading on. And spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. Behold, saith God, I will call together all the kings of the earth to reverence me, which are from the rising of the sun, from the south, from the east to Lebanus, and turn themselves one against another, and repay the things that they have done to them.
Right. So the things that they did to the children of Israel, Most High is going to have them doing unto each other. So like I said, it's going to be city against city, nation against nation. Keep reading.
Verse 21. Like as they, Lakia, like as they do yet this day unto my chosen, so will I do also, and recompense in their bosom. Thus saith the Lord, the Most High.
Go ahead, keep going.
My right hand shall not spare the sinners, and my sword shall not cease over them that shed innocent blood upon the earth.
Right. So all the people that shed innocent blood on the earth, their blood is going to be shed. Right. Because that's what they did to us. They've been shedding our blood all throughout the earth. Right. So this is the payback that they're going to get. Most High is going to shed their blood through the earth. Right. Let's get that. Let's get that in Zechariah chapter 10, I think verse 5.
There's the book of Zechariah, chapter 10 and verse 5. When everybody have it, say come. Zechariah, chapter 10 and verse 5. Khan, no praises. And they shall be as mighty men, which thread down their enemies in the mire
Hold
of
on.
the street.
Start at 1.
Khan.
Hold on. Is it?
Zechariah,
Yeah.
Zechariah, chapter 10 and verse 1. Ask ye of the Lord, rain in the time of the latter rain. So the Lord shall make bright clouds and give them showers of rain to everyone.
No, Salaki. Let me get verse 3. Salaki, verse 3.
King. Zechariah chapter 10 and verse 3. My anger was kindled against the shepherds, and I punished the goats. For the Lord of hosts hath visited his flock, the house of Judah, and have made them as his goodly horse in the battle.
Right. So this is good. You know, the Most High is gonna redeem us a little. You know what I'm saying? When this is all going on, when all of this stuff is hitting the fan, it's gonna get so bad that the Most High is like, "Yo, look, I'm gonna have to raise up Israel." You know what I'm saying? A little faster, so that way, you know what I mean, they can keep the heathens kind of off them. You know what I'm saying? But keep going.
Verse 4. Out of him came forth the corner, out of him the nail, out of him the battle bow, out of him every oppressor together.
And what's going to happen?
And they shall be as mighty men, which thread down their enemies in the mire of the streets in the battle, and they shall fight.
Right. So we're gonna have to fight. Most High's like, look, I'm gonna raise up Israel to fight against these people in these last days because they're gonna be trying to violate my people. Right? So read.
Because the Lord is with them, and the riders on horses shall be confounded. And
Right.
I will strengthen the house of Judah, and I will save the house of Joseph, and I will bring them again to place them. For I have mercy upon them, and they shall be as though I had not cast them off. For I am the Lord their God, and will hear them.
Right. So the Most High is gonna hear us in these last days. Right? He's gonna hear us. He's gonna hear our call or whatever, because these heathens is gonna, like I said, when everything hits the fan, you know, a lot of nations are gonna come up against us in this country. Talking about here in America. When this civil war hits the fan, it's gonna be everybody for themselves. So it's gonna be every other people's gonna go back. If you got a white friend, your white friend ain't your white friend no more. He gonna side with his people. You got a Chinese friend, your Chinese friend is gonna side with his people. In this time, in these last days, if you get caught amongst another race of people, most likely they're gonna kill you or use you as a slave or a servant. Because every people gonna be standing for themselves. And then ain't nobody gonna be trying to take care of no other race of people and all of that other stuff. Everybody's gonna be to themselves. It's gonna be just like jail, you know. Every race is going to be with their own kind, right? And that's something that will happen. You know what I'm saying? Which it should be, because the Most High, He's here to bring division. He ain't here to bring everybody together like Esau is. Esau is trying to bring everybody together. The Most High is saying, "Look, I'm trying to separate y'all. I separated the sons of Adam. So this is the way it's going to be in this time." And he's going to show that. So, is there any let me get Mark chapter 3, verse 26.
King. This is the book of Mark, chapter 3 and verse 26. When everybody have it, say Khan. This is the book of Mark, chapter 3 and verse 26. And if Satan rise up against Satan himself and be divided, he cannot stand, but hath an end.
All right. Now Satan stands up against Satan, he has an end. So we see that's what's happening. That's what's going on. We know that this is the time of the end. And we just looking to get saved out of it. You see what I'm saying? This devil's going up against himself, the Most High is raising up us. He's raising up the men of the Lord, 144,000, to lead us or whatever to His righteous kingdom. Right? That's why He says this: out of all the nations, He's gonna save Israel. Israel shall be saved. Right? Let me get Ezekiel chapter 25 and 12.
This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 25 and verse 12. When everybody have it, say Khan.
God.
Khan. Ezekiel, chapter 25 and verse 12. Thus saith the Lord God, because that Edom had dealt against the house of Judah by taking vengeance, and have greatly offended, and revenged himself upon them. Therefore, thus saith the Lord God, I will also stretch out my hand upon Edom, and will cut off man and beast from it, and I will make it desolate from Teman, and they of Dedan shall fall by the sword.
Right. So this precept was supposed to be the precept before Mark. This is supposed to line up with Zechariah chapter 10. Right. So the Heavenly Father says he was gonna basically bring down Edom by the hand of Judah. Right? Keep reading.
And I will lay my vengeance upon Edom by the hand of my people Israel, and they shall do in Edom according to my anger and according to my fury, and they shall know my vengeance, saith the Lord God.
Right. So the Most High is saying that Edom's gonna know his vengeance because of what they did to his children. Right? So he's gonna raise up Israel to go against them. And that's why I said these race wars is bound to kick off at any time now. These race wars is bound to kick off at any time because the Most High put it in our heart at a certain time that we will turn up on the heathens. He's going to put it in us that we're going to end up. That's why it tells you in Psalms chapter 137, right? That Edom said, raise it, even to the foundation thereof, right? And we're going to turn that recompense back upon them, right? And we're going to be dashing they little ones against the stones and things like that. That's what this verse is basically going into as well, right? So Edom definitely has a recompense coming. Let's also get that. Let's get Ezekiel 35. 35. And let me see. Give me 1 second. Yeah, let me get Ezekiel chapter 35. 35 and 5.
Okay. It's the book of Ezekiel, chapter 35 and verse 5. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword, in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end.
Right. So the Most High said, because Edom loved blood, he's gonna send blood upon Edom. That's why I said this man, he's gonna be terrified on all sides. But it's us that's gonna bring him down. Children of Israel is gonna bring him down. And most of all, Yahweh is gonna bring him down. By Shema Mashiach Yahweh Shah. Right? So all these nations are gonna be at war, but at that same time, you know, we can't show no fear. We can't be scared in these times because we know these things are gonna happen, but we gotta stand strong. You gotta stay strong. Hold on 1 second. One more second. Give me 1 second.
Hey, Salaki, I see our
Yeah, give me 1 more second, guys. Give me 1 more second.
Yeah, come on, Captain.
Salaki. Let me get First Peter's chapter 15, verse 58. And then after that, 2 Timothy's 1 and 7. After that, 2 Timothy 7:57. Yeah, let's get First Corinthians chapter 15, verse 58.
You want First Corinthians chapter what?
First Corinthians chapter 15 and verse 58.
Khan. It's the book of First Corinthians chapter 15 and verse 58. When everybody have it, say Khan.
Yeah.
Khan.
Yeah, it's just to back up the brother Maccabees, with his lesson about
Yeah,
war, and strengthening us as well too. So,
Khan.
pertaining to the brother's lesson, we all want to strengthen ourselves mentally, physically, and spiritually. Because, like the brother was saying, man, and Shemaiah was saying as well too. Jacob's trouble is not no light thing. It's something that's never been seen before. And like the brother was saying again, Ecclesiastes 1 and 9, nothing new under the sun. But the Lord said in Daniel chapter 12, verse 1, this is going to be like a time like no time ever since mankind was created on the earth. Right? So with lessons like this, it's always good to bring out some scriptures pertaining to exaltation, strengthening your mind. So let me get 1 Corinthians 15, verse 58.
It's the book of First Corinthians chapter 15 and verse 58. Therefore, my beloved brethren, be ye steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the works of the Lord, for as much as ye know that your labor is not in vain in the Lord.
Right. So this is Paul. He's writing to the church of Corinth, right? Giving them exhortation to be steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord. Right? That's what we got to do in these times. Let me get 2 Timothy's 1 and 7.
The book of 2 Timothy, chapter 1 and verse 7. When anybody have it, say Khan.
Khan.
Khan. For God hath not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind.
Right. So that's a reminder. The Lord did not give us the spirit of fear. Right? Power and of love and of a sound mind. Khan?
Khan.
Khan. So are you? Yeah, okay.
Khan. Yeah, so like the brother said, I mean, at this time we got to put on that armor of faith. Let me get Ephesians chapter 6. To go in like what the brother was saying, because in this time, this is what we need. You know what I'm saying? This is what we need to know. Let me know when you have it. Ephesians chapter 6, verse.
Oh, verse 12.
Yeah.
Khan. It's the book of Ephesians, chapter 6, and verse 12. And everybody have it, say Khan.
God.
Khan. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers.
Hold on, Salaki. Start at 10.
Khan. Verse 10. Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might.
Read that again.
Khan. Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might.
So we got to be strong in the Lord and the power of his might, right? Just that alone, right? The power of the Most High's might. Most High's might brings down nations. The Most High's might turn weak men into strong men, right? The power of the Most High changes the simple-minded into the wise-minded, right? Take us out of darkness and brought us into light. I was in these streets and running around doing whatever before I actually came into this truth, right? So I was simple-minded at one time, right? But the power of the Lord got me up here teaching a lesson today, right? So, we know what the might of the Lord can do, right? So we have to be strong. We have to be strong in the Lord, right? And that's keeping his laws, his statutes, and his commandments, right? Keep reading.
Khan. Verse 11. Put on the whole armor of God, that he may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil.
Right. So you want to put on the whole armor of the Most High, right? Put on the whole armor of the Most High, that we could stand against the ills of the devil. Keep reading.
For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness of this world, against
Right.
spiritual.
Talking about governments, right? Because when it says spiritual power, talking about rulers in dark places and against powers, it's talking about governments, right? Because governments is what's controlling the world, right? And in the Geneva Bible, it says it tells you that it's governments. So when it says against powers and principalities, talk about governments and people in high places, right? Keep reading.
Khan. Against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places.
Right.
Wherefore, take unto you the whole armor of God, and that he may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all, to stand.
Right. So that's what we need to do. Let me get 2 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 3.
It's the book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 10, to verse 3. When everybody have it, say Khan. Khan. For though we walk in the flesh, we do not war after the flesh.
Right. So we don't have weapons of war like these other nations to go to war with, right? Our weapon of war is the scriptures, right? That's our weapons of war, right? So even though we walk in the flesh, we don't war in the flesh, right? Because at the end of the day, you know, you could fight, what you could see or whatever, but it's what you can't see that's controlling everything that we just read in Ephesians, right? That's why we don't wrestle against flesh and blood, right? Because there's the principalities of powers, you know what I'm saying, that we don't see that controls everything. That's why we don't war in the flesh. This is why we're not supposed to give into our flesh, right? Because the flesh will have you going off and have you emotional, doing things that, you know what I'm saying, you shouldn't be doing, or fighting battles that you don't even have to fight. You're supposed to put it in the Most High's hand and just be a vessel that he used to, you know what I'm saying, confront these nations, right? Because it tells, a matter of fact, this is what the prophets was before our time, right? Let me get that in Jeremiah chapter 28 and 8 real quick, and then come back to this real quick.
King. Slovakia. You said Jeremiah 28 and verse 8?
Yeah. It says our fathers spoke against nations and kingdoms.
It's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 28 and verse 8. When everybody have it, say Khan.
God.
Khan.
Khan.
Khan. The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence.
Right. So that's what we're here to do. We're here to speak of the wars that's going on. We ain't here to start no war. We ain't got no weapons of war, right? Our weapons of war are not carnal, right? So our warfare, we have to keep the scriptures. We here to talk and speak against the nations of the wars that are coming and that's coming to pass if they don't keep the Most High's word, right? Which is being right towards us, right? So read that again. Verse
Khan.
4.
Jeremiah chapter 28 and verse 8. The
No,
prophets.
no. Come back to 2 Corinthians chapter 10.
Oh, Khan. 2 Corinthians chapter 10 and verse 4. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through God to the pulling down of strongholds.
Right. That's going into what he just read in Jeremiah chapter 28 and 8, you know, pulling down the strongholds, right? We here to speak against nations and kingdoms and stuff like that, pulling down strongholds, these people's ideologies and stuff like that they cast amongst the people. You know what I'm saying? These people put spells on us every day. They look to put spells on us every day through TV, through everything that we watch and see. This is how they cast spells on us. So we here to cast down those strongholds. We here to cast down these ideologies, these religions and stuff like that. We here to speak against these kingdoms. So this is our weapon of war, right? Our weapon of war is spiritual. Read that again, verse 4.
Khan. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through God to the pulling down of strongholds,
Keep going.
casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalted it in itself against the knowledge of God, and bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of Yahushua HaMashiach.
Right. So this is what we here to do. We here to cast down strongholds and bring everybody into the obedience of Yahweh Shah. Right? Let me get James chapter 4 and 7.
King. This is the book of James, chapter 4, and verse 7. When everybody have it, say Khan. This is the book of James, chapter 4, verse 7. Submit yourselves thereof to God. Resist the devil, and he will flee from you.
Right. So if you submit yourself to the Most High, the devil gonna flee from you. The devil can't stay in a vessel that belongs to the Most High. If it belongs to the Most High, the devil's the opposite of everything that the Most High is. So he's gonna flee from you. Right? When we give our lives and keep laws, statutes, and commandments, loving each other, it's going to flee from you. But in these last days, this is what we need. Because we're going to, just like is warfare, cardinal warfare on all fronts, it's spiritual warfare before the cardinal warfare. Before anything cardinal, it's something spiritual. The spiritual things happening that's making all this cardinal stuff take place. Right? So in this warfare, we got to be spiritual. This is not about having that physical fight as of right now. Before anything becomes physical, it's always spiritual. Right? Let me get First Peter's 5 and 8.
King. This is the book of First Peter, chapter 5, and verse 8. When everybody have it, say Khan. First Peter, chapter 5, and verse 8. Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour.
All right. Keep going.
Whom resist steadfast in faith, knowing that the same afflictions are accomplished in your brethren that are in the world.
All right. So the brothers that's out here sighing and crying and all of that, you know what I'm saying? The afflictions is in them, you know what I'm saying? We out here doing what we got to do to keep these laws, statutes, and commandments and to break generational curses off of Israel, right? So steadfast, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know what I mean? Like, you got the men of the Lord that's out here. If it wasn't for the Most High raising up a few, we would have been all at Sodom and Gomorrah, right? So we got to steadfast. You know what I'm saying? We had the elders, all of the elders that came before us, that came and put this work in and showed us how this is done. We got to be steadfast in this thing, man. We got to show up. Like the elders before us showed up for us, and the elders before them. You know, and the Most High giving that Holy Spirit on to give understanding. You know what I'm saying, to His chosen. So we gotta step fast in this truth. Right? Let me get Luke chapter 10, verse 19.
It's the book of Luke, chapter 10, and verse 19. When everybody have it, say Khan. Behold, I give unto you power to tread on serpents and scorpions, and over all the powers of the enemy, and nothing shall be any means hurt you.
Right. So Most High gave us power to tread over scorpions, man. We ain't gotta worry about nothing, man. Come out bold as a lion. Speak this word, man. Go out and we could go out in our enemies' faces and let them know that the Most High is gonna judge them, man, for touching the children of Israel. And that when we got next, they going in the shackles. And they getting 1,000 lashes. You know? Kissing boots. You know, we steadfast. We treading upon serpents, man. We got these heathens out there kissing the boot. We getting a taste of what the kingdom is going to be like. Most High gave us that power, man, in these last days. All praise by Shema Mashiach Yahushua. Let me get Deuteronomy chapter 28 and 7.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, and verse 7. When everybody have it, say Khan. The Lord shall cause thy enemies that rise up against thee to be smitten before thy face. They shall come out against thee one day and flee before thee 7 ways.
Right. So they should come before thee one way and flee before thee 7 ways, man. That's how the Most High God is going to have us on it, man. Like, just by his word alone. The word is going to scare them. Right? Before we even physically touch them, the word is going to scare them. You know what I mean? They going to be running because they going to see men in great boldness, man, speaking the Most High's word, man, ruling over them with the rod of iron. Right? Let me get 1 John chapter 5, verse 4.
Book of 1 John chapter 5 and verse 4. When anybody have it, say Khan. 1 John chapter 5, verse 4. For whatsoever is born of the Most High overcometh the world. And this is the victory that overcometh the world, even our faith.
Right. So this is the victory that overcometh the world, man. Is that we gonna be heirs in the kingdom, man. We gonna be heirs in the kingdom. So we ain't got nothing to worry about. Let me get did you give me Jeremiah chapter 30?
I believe so, King. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Which verse? 30 what?
Verse 10.
Let me check, King. Verse 10.
Yeah, verse 10, 30 and 10. I'm gonna
Oh,
end it with that.
No, you ain't give me the tweet, King. You ain't give it to me. I'm gonna read it.
I'm gonna end it with that.
All right, Khan. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 30, and verse 10. Therefore, fear thou not, O my servant Jacob, saith the Most High, neither be dismayed, O Israel, for lo, I will save thee from afar, and thy seed from the land of their captivity. And Jacob shall return, and shall be in rest, and be quiet, and none shall make him afraid.
Keep going.
For I am with thee, saith the Lord, to save thee, though I make a full end of all nations, whether I have scattered thee. Yet will I not make a full end of thee, but I will correct thee in measure, and will not leave thee altogether unpunished.
Right. So the Most High is gonna correct us, man. You know what I'm saying? And he gonna make an end of all these nations, man. All that they think they in power, you're gonna make an end of all of that, man. You're gonna make an end of all of that. It's a wrap. You know, it's finished. How the elder used to say it, it's finished.
Finished.
It's finished out here. You know what I'm saying? By Shema Mashiach Yahushua. All praises to the Most High.
All praises, King.
Anybody want to lead it out with a prayer? Who wanna lead us out with a prayer?
God, I'll do it. Yeah, it's finished.
It's finished out here. And before we go into that prayer, anybody got anything they want to say or bring out or whatever?
God, I got a second edge of 757.
Huh.
Yeah, second edge of 757, man.
Second Ezra 757.
Con.
Khan. This is the book of Lakia. Second Ezra, right?
Yes. Yeah, second address.
All right, Khan. 757. Khan is the book of Second Ezra, chapter 7 and verse 57. It reads, Then answered he me and said, This is the condition of the battle, which man that is born upon the earth shall fight,
Right, read on.
that if he be overcome, he shall suffer as thou hast said. But if he get the victory, he shall receive the things that I say.
Con. So this is like with the brother's topic, wages of war, right? And it's karma. The Lord said it's the condition of the battle for all men and women and children on the earth that we must fight. We're waging a war between ourselves, mentally, physically, spiritually. There's a war between the nations. Civil war is about to happen in America. It's going to be war on all sides, right? But the war that we got to wage is to battle for righteousness, to be able to achieve the kingdom of heaven. And then the Lord said, if you overcome by this war and you lose, yeah, you're going to get that judgment. But if you overcome this war, you win, you're going to get that prize. And that prize is what? The kingdom of heaven. Khan?
Khan.
So there's war on all sides, but we got to fight our war. Right? And you can't duck this one. You can't bob and weave this one like Trump.
God. Yeah.
You can't be looking for your shoe for this one. You're going to fight on deck.
Yeah.
And say, give me my shoe. Let me get my shoe. Nah, man. Yeah, you want to come out victorious, man. Fist raised up in the air, getting crowned by Yahweh Shai. Right? Crack that sky. You're looking down from the view, seeing fire and burning and brimstone in America. And you looked and decked out and majestic in the third heaven, man. So, not a slim chance be above the rim. Because if we're in the last days, it's about to be grim. So with that, I yield. Call me Sean.
Just want to add to just got a 2-minute video to share in reference to a lot of the things that you're going to see in the news and in media, and why you're going to see things in the news and in the media. I'm just going to share the video and just give me a second. This is all about what they would call propaganda. And, you know, let me just share it out here.
Is legalized in the United States to propagandize its citizens. What? Like, that's some scary third world stuff going on. That's the kind of stuff that people use to topple governments, to take away freedoms.
Yes, you heard that right. Almost a decade ago, propaganda was legalized in the United States with the passage of the Smith-Mundt Modernization Act, which you've probably never heard of. The Smith-Mundt Modernization Act was buried in the 2012 National Defense Authorization Act for a good reason, because it repealed the 1948 Smith-Mundt Act, which authorized the State Department and the mainstream media to engage in propagandizing foreign countries, but it prohibited releasing that same propaganda in America for public consumption. This prohibition was lifted when the Smith-Mundt Modernization Act was signed into law by Obama.
Very simply, Obama gave it a reboot in 2012. So, no matter how outrageous the propaganda may be, it's completely legal.
Propaganda, in other words, a false narrative, for whatever specific purpose, is now much, much easier to perpetrate on the people.
Due to the Smith-Mundt Modernization Act, which went into effect on July the 2nd of 2013, scripted and orchestrated propaganda can now be presented to the American public as factual news.
So in 2013, it was legalized in the United States to propagandize its citizens. What? Like, that's some scary third...
Fake news. Wow.
Yeah. So if you understand what that is saying, they have legal rights to lie to the citizens about anything,
Absolutely.
right? Just like COVID vaccines is beneficial for your health, yeah, they can say whatever they want, and it's legal to say it. It's what they call it, fake news.
Yep.
Right? So they're gonna have wars and they're gonna have all kinds of things going on, and they're gonna tell you, nah, that hey, move along, there ain't nothing to see here. You know, they can lie about literally anything. They don't. The news does not have to tell you the truth. The government does not have to tell you the truth, and it's legal for them to do that. So
wow,
stay in this truth, and Most High has never lied to us about nothing, right? We're the ones who've been lying to ourselves and calling our enemies our friends and so forth and so forth. And the brother brought out a
basically
powerful,
fake news.
yeah, powerful information in terms of truth.
Wow.
Right? This is why we call what we follow the truth, because all praise to the truth. Right? So yeah, man, just wanted to share that powerful lesson. King, all praises. I yield.
That's good. Yeah, that's crazy. So, praise the Lord willing, we'll be back. That's crazy, but it makes sense. So praises, all praises. Hope you brothers and sisters have fun. Yeah, Shemaiah, that's crazy. But it makes sense. Yeah. So hope you brothers and sisters was edified. We have it on YouTube, HOI class. Some beautiful classes, mighty class again. From the brothers, great reading as well from Brother Aisha. Yeah. We'll be back again this Thursday with the West Coast. Lord willing, HOI LA. And then next Thursday, we'll be having first time ever HOI UK. Good. Yeah.
HOI International. All praise.
God. International, bruv.
Spread it abroad.
Good. So last Thursday we had East Coast. This Thursday we'll have West Coast. And then the last Thursday of the month will be international. So that's national. And we got 2 more teachers for New York, New Jersey. The last 2 Tuesdays. We might have a surprise the closing Tuesday of the month. We'll keep that in the bag.
Best kept secret.
Good.
All praises.
Yeah. So I'll give you at least 30 seconds and let's close out with the Lord's Prayer. Hopefully you brothers and sisters was edified. Beautiful class again. Brother Maccabees. All praises.
All praises. A mighty lesson. Wages of war. A lot of receipts. A lot of edification.
So all praise Yahweh Bashim Yoshai, Bashim HaKadash, Baruch Shah, Tabalat Shema Yitha, Abanawa, Shabashimayim, Kodash, Haya, Shamka, Yehawa, Balakuvka, Taba'a, Ratazaka, Haya, Esha, Ba'arataza, Kawa, Haya, Bashimayim, Zananawa, Lacham, Hayuam, Wasalachnawa, Chabawafnawa, Kasalachnawa, Chabawafinawa,
Wala'a tabi'ay nawa, banasayawan abal hawashay nawa, mayan rai kaya laka hamalakwaf wahalal wataparaf, like walamyam. Amen. We come to Yahweh Bashim Yoshua to please bring death and destruction and wrath and righteous judgment and curses upon the heathens, upon these nations, upon Esau, and bring them into destruction, and also to help destroy Babylon, which is also known as America, and all these other nations that oppress us in these last days. We also ask Yahweh Bashim Yoshua to speed up the time for the elect's sake, and so that we can be worthy for Yahweh Shai in the times to come, and also to strengthen us to overcome all trials and tribulation and upcoming prophecies like Jacob's trouble. Give us a spirit to endure day by day, to have our daily bread, and overcomes all trials and tribulations. And increase us as well, mentally, physically, spiritually, also to bless us well financially, and also to bring judgment upon our enemies in these last days. The water to Abalam. Amen. Come. Oh yeah, quick thing. If anybody want to see the Let the Truth Be Told podcast, hosted by Elder Torah and Elder Zabak, is on HOYLA on YouTube. You can find it on HOYLA. It was a great podcast. It was definitely a great podcast, especially first episode. You can find it on HOYLA. Most I will. Khan?
Yeah.
Just look up HOYLA. So all praises.
Shema Mashiach,
Shema Mashiach,
Yeah, you gotta bob and weave and dodge these demons like Trump.